Hello and welcome to another art stream. I think I'm gonna get right into this. I know that I usually, well, let's do one or two sketches, but only warm-ups of drawings that we might even use. So I'm trying to do the HeMay art challenge, which is to draw different He-Man characters every day. So a friend of mine, D. Hausner, of oh gosh, I'm sorry, D. Kid Nebula. Gosh, I'm a terrible friend. He great comic. Definitely recommend checking it out. Really proud of him for getting it as far as it has. And yeah, him and his group are doing this, so I thought it'd be fun to do this, and maybe I can join them in a future one, or we'll see. Hopeful thinking. But here we go. Nobody tell him I forgot the name for a few seconds. He can't know. I'm grabbing some references. We can just do here's some expressions. I hope everyone's had a good week. Mine was pretty quiet, actually. It was okay. I had a few appointments, but nothing exciting. Just regular background stuff, not important. So, I mean, important, but not anything to worry about. But sorry, I'm just grabbing a bunch here so I can just. Because I don't like making everyone wait during the stream, so if I can do it before, that'd be great. Beep, beep, beep. I'm gonna try and do a few. I really still want to try and get Skeletor. I meant to do that one first. I was trying to do. I think I started and I was so determined to do the character that was like the prompt, that I didn't start with the big guns. So just grab a whole bunch of these and then we'll get started. Ooh, I have an idea for that one. Yeah, Pinterest is a great place to go for some reference. I recommend using it with PureRef I know there's a Apple version of PureRef. I forget what it's called. I think you have to pay for that one. Well, you do have to pay for PureRef as well. I'm sorry. So I think they both are about the same, like around like $15 or something like that. Maybe the Apple one's like a few dollars less, but honestly, it just saves you so much of a headache because doing a half screen is such a pain. I don't know who that is. Oh, spam. Sorry. My phone's being rude. There he goes. Okay. Let's get to work. Start with this pose. This is a good pose to start with. Yeah, I was almost finished with this last time. Maybe I'll after I do a bunch of the HeMay, I'll go back and finish this tonight. Because it's kind of long. I mean, it's almost done. It's just like I think I just need to fix the right arm because I can tell it's wrong. Like I think. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the music. Sorry, still haven't done. I gotta get on this channel stuff. I gotta make a playlist so you guys don't have to listen to the same thing. Well, yeah, the same thing every day because I'll try and make like a few different mixes. I mean, this is okay. Let me show you. I'm gonna work on with this, but put it above here. both the opacity of these, both of these, just so we can see what I'm talking about. So I plan on working on cleaning up that and fixing this, because I think this might need to be moved up, or at least maybe changed angle, because it's her, based on how she's punching, her other shoulder is wrong. unless she's up like this, which I think is what I was kind of going for, is kind of like she's going like this. So yeah, it would be more like this. And maybe we should just leave it open, just like. Like you don't even have to change the thumb, just the other fingers. Like that. And that should be good. Maybe clean up this, but it's kind of messy. I mean, muddy. I would like to, it would be nice to make it a little bit more like crisp, so. And maybe the background could just be, have one more pass in the background. I mean, the background's my least concern. Maybe up here looks a little weird, but I'm not too worried. That's like my least concern. And maybe refining this edge here a little bit more, but like that. Like try and do something where it has maybe a little bit more of a shadow to give the illusion of the light refracting. And him, I'm not sure. This one's kind of a bit of a losing battle. But I'm going to try. But for now, let's start a new one. We'll do some just figure drawings first, and then we'll do just some figure studies first, and then I'll get into the characters. But I'm going to try, like I said, these are going to be used, these poses might be used for a character, so they're not like totally random. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Oops. Yeah. Why does this do this? I need to figure this out. There's something going on with my version of where like my version of this is like misbehaving right now. Like it doesn't let me change the size. Huh. And it's a bit of a mess. But I don't understand why I can't try to open and close it again. Let's see if guys, why can't I change the size of the window? That's even worse, guys. Now it works. Why did it... Okay. Sorry. It just took me a second to get it to work. Okay. Let's do this drawing. Okay, we're going to do a couple... Wait, oh, I see. Now it's not on top, so there. Okay. Do them in. Guys, why are you doing this to me? Please don't. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's trying to make me mad. Like every time it does. Weird. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to make this work without losing my mind, but it's not gonna work, so. You know what? I'm just gonna use Pure Ref actually, because for some reason, not Pure Ref, Instagram, I mean on Pinterest, because I don't know why, but this is just being a pest today, and it's really making things hard, so. Whoops, wrong one. Let's find one of the poses in here, because I took them from here anyway, so I just need to find them again. Oh, that's a good one. I am excited to watch the pilot for Gameverse tonight. That's going to be interesting. And I also got the it's like the early access for Subnautica 2, and it's we'll see how it is. It's nothing like a good old dose of fearing an alien ocean, you know? It's weird though, because like I wonder if they just did this because they realized that there's that mostly streamers are going to be playing the early access, but they don't have a mode where, because in the original one they had and in the sequel they had, or the expansion, they had a mode where you could your game modes, and maybe they'll unlock this mode, but there was regular mode where you could run out of oxygen, food, and water, and then there was just another mode where you could just run out of oxygen. And I did that the first time just because I wanted just to get used to the game. But this time that's not an option. Although to be fair, I'm not really having trouble finding things to eat, so I'm not really that worried. So far, it's more just things trying to poison me or eat me, and, you know, all that fun stuff. It's a fun game. But yeah, it'd be fun to play with some of the people some of the other artists I talk to online. Maybe I can try and coordinate with them. And even the single player is really fun, so. Mess that up. There we go. Hulked him out a little too much. Okay, one pose started. We can do some other ones. Here, this is a better one for Heman. This is probably what I'm going to use. More like something like this. I hope his pilot did good. I mean, I remember watching him, watching Ross start to work on that when he was just finishing, when he was still with, I think it was like the beginning of COVID. He was starting to share things, so. It'd be really fun to see what he came up with from there. Yeah, I think he was just working on character concepts, which is funny because that's what we're doing right now. So it's kind of cool. It's like saying, like, maybe, I really hope, looking into the future, kind of like it took him a little while, but he did actually finally get it aired. Or, I mean, at least on YouTube. So, and hopefully he'll get a deal. We'll see. Although, at this point, I really don't want him to get a deal with the Amazon because I've been hearing some troubling things about their contracts. So, I don't know. This isn't a political channel, so I won't go into that garbage. That's more of a animation news thing, but still, it's bummer, so let's not talk about it. Excuse me. We're in this like window of time right now where it's just starting to get moderate weather, and so it's kind of like you still got to wear a coat and everything, but it does get up to like 60. So a few days have been in the 70s. Well, today actually it's never mind this. Wow, next week's gonna be warm. Cool. Huh. Neat. Anyway. So I have some. Maybe go work on that a little bit tonight too. I mean, I got some other things. I got so much I want to do tonight. But I would like to get some redeems done for my my Twitch channel because I feel like I've been kind of lacking in that. And I was gonna do since I sometimes I wish I could do it this here too, but like redeems for like you stay on the channel long enough and you can get like a sketch request. But this is why I wish that YouTube would do this. Like, I don't get why they don't have something this like. Maybe did they patent that or something? Like I don't know. Maybe they did. If they did. That's a smart move. But it stinks for me. But it's a smart move. This is a good start for He-Man. Let's do the next guy. Who else is there? Oh, I just started posting on TikTok again. Whoa! That one did so much better. Oh my goodness. Woo! Wow. I mean, kinda. It got a lot of views. It only got a couple likes, but it got more likes than usual than some of my stuff. It's been a little while since I've had something that was that popular. Why did that one hit so good? I guess it's just a... Huh. Sorry, I just was checking that out. I'm just curious. Like, what caused it to... Whatever. Who cares? Why isn't anyone like my dinosaur? I'm almost offended. I had fun with that dinosaur. Although he's still kind of sketchy. So maybe they don't want my loose art, which is fine. Whatever. Neat. Huh. Anyway. Where am I doing? Search. Heman. Ah, Heman. That was a bad one. Hold on. I can't do it. Here. Oh wait, I gotta do that. It's me. No, I can't do it. I'm trying too hard right now. When I don't try, I can get it closer. But when I'm trying, it's like it's just. Yeah, like curse you, He-Man. That's what I got. Okay, Skeletor. Let's draw him now. I still remember that, I think it was like 2007? Or maybe it was like 2010 show where, no, you know what? I think it was like 2012 when they did that He-Man, like, with, a more modern look, or like, modern look's the wrong word. It just was done by newer artists, so it kind of was, it had a much bigger budget than, Hanna-Barbera would give them. I think they were part of that, weren't they? I believe they were, because it. And it was taken more seriously by the writers because they weren't just trying to sell a toy line, so they were able to do like a longer, cohesive story. And they explained how Skeletor like has a skeleton face, which was kind of cool. Still must be horrible, but. Some kind of like chemical burn. He's like Two-Face. What am I doing? My brain forgot. I was looking up... Oh, I was looking up pictures of Skeletor. That's what I was going to do. Because I wanted to get a good picture of him. Here's a good one of him. Oops. Come on, guys. Can I just... It's like this thing can't make up its mind when it's open and when it's not. Guess they're not going to let me use that one. Here's the version they'll let me use. I like this one. So, oops. I can spell. I can't. Sometimes my brain just like, this is like, I got this down, and then I look down at what I typed, and I'm like, what is wrong with my fingers? It's like, surely I can't be this dumb. Don't call me Shirley. Sorry, just sending out the bad signal to some people. Just you, He-Man. I used to watch that show all the time too. It was fun. Like and my neighbor had all the I need to get some caffeine. My neighbor had all the toys, so I would go over there, and I think they let me play with some of them. I can't remember. I think mostly I was just allowed to look at them. I can't remember if for some reason I have a memory where I didn't really touch them that much, so maybe I wasn't allowed to use them. Good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, we're working on He-Man art tonight, because I guess that's one of the art challenges for me. And all my friends, or at least my friend D. Hosner, he is doing this with some of his comic book friends, so I thought it'd be fun to try it too. So, and I grew up with that show, so it's still fantasy based, so it's not me breaking too much of my rules. I used to do one called June Toon as well, and if that comes back, I'll try it, where you draw different cartoon characters every day. That was kind of fun, but let's see, we're doing Skeletor right now. Yeah, He-Man. That was my worst one yet. Yeah, He-Man. You won't take me alive. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking up. I keep forgetting I'm looking up images for this guy. Oh wait, here they are. Okay. Yeah. And I was talking about the the one that came out like 10 years ago, I think, or maybe even like 12, like 15 years ago, where like I thought it looked good. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that they spun their swords like they didn't have wrists, and I thought that was really weird looking. But other than that, the show was fun. Like I thought the combat was really cool, and yeah, I have nothing against that. I just thought that he like I didn't even stick with it as long as my friend did. He said it got even better, and I kind of wish I had. Like there was like a story that involved dragons and stuff, and like there was a dragon egg that Beastmaster had or something like that, and it sounded fun. I did not see that new He-Man movie that was on Netflix. I didn't want to be a part of that. It seemed just I don't like heroes that are hateful and vengeful, and that's all they're written as, and that's all that character was. Where she's just like always angry, and she derives strength from anger, which, come on, Zuko said don't do that. He said anger is a bad way to, it's bad energy, man. You gotta like listen to the universe. Step into the rainbow fire. No, don't do that. Don't step into the rainbow fire. Only works for firebenders. Let's see, I'm gonna look for some poses now for Skeletor. Cause I found a good one for He-Man. And I mean I'll make it look like a splash page kind of with him. I was gonna make him look kind of like Conan, kind of. It's kind of interesting. I feel like, I mean, it's surprising to see how strong they made Skeletor look, because like usually the villain, I mean, like think of like Thundercats. Mumra is a raisin. He's like a dried up lich guy, and everything about him is magic. But Skeletor is magic too, but he's also like as strong as He-Man, or possibly stronger. Yeah, possibly stronger actually. Because I mean, he loses, but I don't remember. Every time they fight against each other, it seems like it's pretty close. So, I'm trying to find a good pose for this guy. It's funny, whenever I try and do the Skeletor voice, I just imagine like Ross doing the papyrus from that game. It's like dance with me. Undertale. Sorry, I'll get the drawing. Just use some random ones. I'll work on a few different poses for him. Cause I want to just cut. Like these are my reference for what he looks like, but I need to look up. Oops. Oops. Oh man, sorry for taking. No, not gonna make him kicking. That's the only thing I can't make him do. Or it's one of the only things I can make him do. No karate for him. Yeah, I found good reference, but not for... This is the one character I haven't found good reference for. We'll play with some different ideas. So let's try a few. Make him like a kind of like a Vecna kind of thing going on with him, maybe, where he's just like kind of floating in a power pose, like in a like floating stance, kind of with his cape flowing behind him, and then maybe a sword too, actually crossing it. Yeah, I like this. Where he's kind of just like... Nah, I don't want that. I mean, he is well, I can always do that for the, Nah. That would be better for someone else, like Beastman or something. I have a pose where someone's screaming into the air, and that would be better for, like, Beastman or something. I think you're, one of the more animalistic characters. Me, 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 me. Huh. Thing. Okay, no answer yet. I was gonna see if I got a. But yeah, it'd be fun to get Skeletor done. It's my Heman and Skeletor are the two main ones I want to get done. It'd be fun to get some of these other ones at least started tonight. Oh. I'll be honest, even if I could do some of these voices, I don't remember a lot of the voices for, like, for He-Man. Like Mossman, I have no idea what he sounds like. Jitsu, I don't know who that is even. I think Battle Cat is his, and Panther is She-Ra's, right? Or do I have it backwards? I forget. Oh no, it's I'm gonna be called out as not a fan. Oh yeah, Evil Lynn. I forgot that's what her name was. Oh gosh. That's such a funny pun or wordplay. She's the one that has that like weird like crown on her head that she's like the sorceress. So she'll be fun to draw. Many Faces is low on the list. Near the end, I'm surprised. I thought he'd be one of the first people to draw. So, yeah, let's get back to work. Yeah, he's got. Do. Hello. Yeah. Oh no, I've been called out. Exposed. Fake fan. He can't remember the late 80s version by heart from when he watched it back in the late 80s. Some fan. All my credibility is gone. At least I have my Simpson quotes. I can cling to those. It is interesting that, I mean, I'm not surprised, but like that Ninja Turtles was the one out of all these shows from that era that just became such a commercial success and, I mean, got so many like offshoots. Because like this one this one didn't get much. I think maybe it got comics too, much like Ninja Turtles, but I mean they didn't go back into it until like I think like I said, I think I'll have to check the date, but I think it was until like 2012 or something like that. And then the Turtles has had so many different versions, and now they even have one where Raphael's the leader, and I still need to watch that one because I hear it's good. Now that rapper can be correct. And Aaron will be wrong for one show. I still remember that. Oh, he doesn't have a cape. Or, yeah, no, he doesn't have a cape. What am I talking about? See, I'm giving myself more work. He doesn't. I'm sure he might have a cape in some scenes, but the majority of the time it looks like he doesn't. So I'm not going to give him a cape because that's extra work. And he's got these awesome pauldrons, and I'm just going to put those on him. Wonder, let's see. I'm gonna look it up just for funsies. Yeah. Heman Masters of the Universe. That was the name of the newer one. Oops. Ugh, cool. Nope, this is the original. That doesn't help me at all. Oh, here we go. Wait, that was what the old one was called too. Heman. Oh, come on. Oh, here it is. 2012. No, that's what? That's something else. I don't know what this is. I think it's a foreign film or something called Heman. Weird, it's not here. IMDb, you failed me. I'm very disappointed in you. Yeah, actually, the cast looks kind of good. I'm looking at the trailer. I'll look at it later. But it's playing in the background. It looks not half bad. Well, wait, modern... Nope, never mind. There's modern stuff in it. I hate it. Why don't they do... If they want to do something modern, why don't they make a modern version of Knights of the Round Table? Because that had football players that became knights. Like, there you go. That was fun. back to drawing. I'm not sure I like this pose, actually. We'll try some other ones too, but I'm kind of having mixed feelings about this. Yeah, he's not a Vecna though. I don't like it. Never mind. He's too much of a cool guy to be like a. I mean, he's much more of a strong sorcerer than a like bully who uses uses people's like fears and the people they love as pawns to weaken the heroes, which is what Vecna does more of. No, Skeletor might have won if he had done that, but he doesn't do that. Except in that newer one where he like randomly they just wrote him to win, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what? I thought this guy was the master of the universe. Why does he lose? Gonna do like an upshot kind of maybe where it's like so I have to push him up a little bit. So he's kind of like this. Good foreboding orchestral music for Skeletor. This is gonna be a minute. I gotta do perspective live. Oh no. I'll be okay. Perspective on this too, because it's kind of going to be more like this. So it's yeah, Skeletor makes me think more of like the like one of those elite oh gosh, Draugr. Yeah, an elite Draugr, kind of. Oh, that would have been so cool if that was actually what he is. But I think I don't remember what the original lore for him is. He might be kind of... Maybe his original thing was more like that. Because like I said, in that newer version, they just made it so he had like a chemical burn that burned away his skin on his face. And somehow, since I guess it was a magical thing, it kind of just like left him like that. And he never tried to fix it, or maybe he couldn't. But See? It, it's only in bases. I can't remember all this stuff. Every time I learn a dinosaur fact, some trivia from a cartoon disappears. So, we got to pick our battles here. Actually, this would be really good practice because I don't really draw six packs that much. I really need to start doing that more. I'll be right back. Tease of what I'm going to be working with a six pack. You know what? I have the internet right here. Why don't we just look it up for funsies? Funsies. Skeletor origin story. Called Keldor, a skilled warrior whose ambitions, tragic accident, Oh yeah, he did have a tragic accident, so it was kind of like a two-faced thing. Huh. Okay. Seems kind of like that. I mean, they're just... To be fair, this was back when, like, villains were just like, they're bad. So, they didn't really need a big reason. He's a bad guy that wanted to open a really nasty dimension for an even stronger guy, and blah, blah, blah. And he's a warrior with magic, so... There you go. Which gives him a one-up on He-Man because He-Man's just strength. Kind of a weird sword, but perspective's wrong. The perspective's always wrong. Oh no. This is just gonna be a rough, quick. I might, maybe tonight, the majority of what I'll do is just work on a few thumbs, and then we'll come back to finish a few of them that I really like. That way I don't overly commit to one of these like this guy. I wonder if this is He-Man's where I got my desire to always draw people in boots all the time, because I've managed to cut it back on it now. Like I draw Richard with he's got hiking boots, but those are much shorter. They're only up to here. But I think this is where I kind of got that, was He-Man and maybe G.I. Joe. Like watching those two shows kind of put in my head, like, this is what you wear in battle. Are tall boots. because that's just what these boots will do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over He-Man and Eternia. I'm trying to think of some other really good ones from that era. Like there was, like I said, I mean, Captain N would be another fun one to see a remake of. Although, like the console, I would want a remake of back when the console wars were a thing, Captain N, because like the difference between like the Switch and the other ones is not nearly as different as it was back when it was like early, like even like 360 versus the GameCube. Those were two very different systems. So it would be kind of fun to make it like set in that era. Because everything's, I mean, don't get me wrong, I grew up in them, so I get the allure, but you could put some shows in the 2000s too and grab an audience from that. So, just a thought. Considering most of the viewers will be, if you're going for like a upper teen, that's where they would be. That's what their nostalgia would be. Because old relics like me don't always have the time to watch all these shows, so doing these 90s callbacks, it's like, guys, I don't have time to watch it, sorry. That's why when there was all that controversy over that game mixtape, I was just like, cool, I don't even have time to be outraged about this. I don't have time for this game. Whoops. Sorry. I forgot to restart the computer, which might have gotten rid of this problem, but oh well. A remake of the Snorks. I don't think I'd want a remake of David the Gnome because that was too. I remember how that ended, and that was like one of the first cartoons I saw that had a sad ending. I mean, up until like later in life, I saw the stop motion. I mean, the animatronic dinosaurs, where like the last episode was like, oh, this is horrible. How is this on a regular show? An updated Family Matters where Steve Urkel joins the SCP Foundation. See, the funny thing is, I never watched the later episodes of Family Matters, so I never really... I copped some of the weirdness. Because, like, he did have that machine early in the show that turned him into, like, his different versions. Like Stefan. And... I forget the other one. There was like a kung fu one that was basically just him as Bruce Lee. But oh wait, there is Nord. Okay, there actually is one. I'll have to watch that later. There's a YouTube video about his origin. Of course, someone would make something like that. Should have watched it before this. Oh well. Keep hoping they're going to make a Batman Beyond movie, but then I look at what Hollywood's writing these days, and I'm like, I can wait a little longer. Once Hollywood like figures out that it is supposed to just be telling stories again, then I'll want a Batman Beyond show. Or well, yeah, actually, a live action show would be amazing, but even a movie would be great. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it comes out later this summer, but they're making a beat 'em up for He-Man, and I do have it on my wish list, but it should be really fun. I like the art style because it looks like some of these publishers just tried to like rush something out. Like there's one that looks like maybe it's going for nostalgia, but there's like a Toxic Crusader one that came out or was announced shortly after that Ninja Turtles one came out, and it looks kind of rough, which maybe is the point, but that's a bad point. It's like, guys, put a little more time into your game. But who knows? I didn't play it, so maybe it's good. Maybe the actual like story is fun, and because art, I mean, with games, don't get me wrong, the art style is always good thing to like lean into, but you should have a good story above everything else. I know as an artist that sounds controversial, but as someone who's working on a comic, it matters more. My story matters way more than my art style. People can forgive a little mistake here and there, but they can't forgive a bad story. I mean, look at like Mignola with Hellboy. Like, he put a lot of time into each of those issues for that reason, where he's just like all the work went into just making sure he researched everything thoroughly and like wrote an interesting like next addition to the arc. Like even I'm going through BPRD and it's been pretty good so far. Like what I've read so far has been really good, but and Mignola, he does have a team of other artists now, thankfully, so he's not doing it all himself. Or he's not doing it. I think he always had for a while he had a colorist, but now he also has another artist that's doing his side stories. So that's nice to know that someone else is there. It's kind of like with Oda, where it's like, come on, man. Although with Oda, the problem is that like the difference. I guess the difference. It's not like Oda because the difference is that he can walk away and give someone else a story, and not worry about like the style, like dropping too much from the original source. Whereas like with One Piece, I heard that he walked away for a second to do another show, or maybe he was just taking a break for his health, and and then he saw like the beginning of Wano, and he's like, nope, I'm coming back. He's like, guys, what are you doing? Come on, I taught you better than this. Dude, I'm terrible in these apps. I gotta get better. This kind of perspective always messes with me a little. This is gonna be especially tricky with a skull. But like, man, messing this up so bad. Shall I make... Taking longer in this than I meant to, sorry. But I just really... he's the big bad. I kind of want to give him some... give him the respect he deserves. Kind of being scratchy today. Apologies. Maybe get a bolder line might help you. I think the problem is I'm going straight for the thin lines, and that tricks me into doing like finer details. But I need to do I need to do more clean, more loose stuff first, and then go into that. I'll make this look more imposing in a little bit. I just gotta, because it should be far scarier. It's the villain's magical staff. It should be. Bum, 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 bum. You know, this poison gat, like, or just this miasma coming up all around him. Oops, sorry. Owie. I just realized I gave him the free Ren head. I tried to anyway, but it's hard to do with the skull. But he's got that like upshot under the chin, kind of. But like, I'll have to try and work on it, try and clean it up a little bit more. It's not that long. It's like, it goes to like here. Really scratchy today. I'm usually better. Well, I guess no, I'm not. What am I saying? I just usually do this, and then I draw on top of things. Usually, that's why I'm usually better. So let's do that. Let's go back and clean up some of this, like his head. Oh, what we'll do is we'll draw the actual skull. We'll give him more of an angle here. Yes, very good. Except I don't like that. Those teeth are really strong. Like this. That's a better yeah, that's a better angle. Kinda. It's a little off still, but I think I can fix that. I think this is all scrunched a little too much. Like this area here above the. Just make sure I have that area in there too. Look who's swole now, He-Man. Sorry. Let me switch how he's holding it. Sorry, I can't do the voice for long. I was gonna do like I don't skip leg day for, but in Skeletor's voice, but hate to disappoint you. Even though I think honestly though comparing Lord of like Thundercats to He-Man though, like I think Mumra was written much scarier if I remember right, because even in the original show I think he wanted to just, it was more like Shredder where he just wanted to eat them. Like consume their entire planet or something like that, I forget. Something like that. And the reason I do is because there's two different versions out of that too, so my brain's getting kind of the lore mixed up. But I do remember something about that in there. I need some water. I'll be right back. Okay. Once I get the line work for him, I'm gonna jump to the next because we're already at over an hour. But or maybe I'll jump back to He-Man actually. Yeah, that's what I'll do. 'Cause I didn't really get to clean up his details. This is fun. I remember a long time ago I did one for Captain Planet, like a me and Dee did a drawing where we try. I think we both drew. It was supposed to just be Captain Planet, but I think I tried to make a modern version of it, kind of like how there was like the extreme Ghostbusters. I tried to make like the extreme Planeteers, but it didn't come out exactly how I wanted. It's still in my Instagram if you want to look it up. I forget which one that was, but it's in the way back. I might have even tried. That might have been when I was working in traditional too. So I think it was done in like gouache. Oh, I was not very good in gouache. And that's kind of why I didn't feel bad jumping out of it. I really maybe I'll take a few courses and then I'll make a stream on a different day where I'll just do traditional. But I do want to improve a little before I come back on with traditional. Because it's been a little while since I've drawn like consecutive, like as much as I draw digital, so it's suffered a little bit. Welcome to Chill Tunes while we draw terrifying dark sorcerers. Hope you're having a relaxing evening and oh my gosh, she's gonna do a power attack! Try and hide as much of the back of the head as I can because it doesn't usually really show that. I might drape his eyes even in more shadow with the and make it just so it's like two. So maybe like he's got. Let's do this for the base. Oops. It's like because he's gonna have like a few highlights, but most of his head's gonna be in like. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. That should not be on the same layer, dum-dum. Actually, that's too high. bum, bum, bum. This is fun. Especially because it kind of forces me out of my like normal color scheme. Because like these guys have very, whoops, why is it that color? Okay, that's weird. I have this selected, why is it doing this color? Interesting. Well, I found the hairbrush, so that's a thing. Unfortunately, this character does not have any. So, sorry Skeletor, I'm not giving you a wig. Unless, no wig. Rough kind of like starting for this. It is interesting that I guess that's part of the potion is that it got all over his head down to his neck maybe, and then maybe he was wearing armor or something maybe that blocked it. But yeah, maybe because he's got like a blue tint to his body. Oops, too dark. I don't like that arm. That arm looks wrong. Fix it up. This one will be down here. You know, let's give this arm a more interesting pose. Let's make him holding his sword up like in power. Like he's just like, Rah! First you, Heman! That's all I can say. Whoa, his sword's got horns too. That's pretty metal. Well, in one version it does anyway. Glad I didn't use that pose, because someone already did that. I guess it doesn't matter. It's just kind of... He's got all kinds of swords, so... Maybe doing the... like a crazy ornate hilt. I found a Skyrim sword, Heman. What are you gonna do now? It's Umbra's sword. Uh-oh. That's not good. You shouldn't have Umbra's sword. That's dangerous. And yes, I know this isn't how Umbra looks. I'm just goofing around having some fun. This isn't even what his sword looks like. I'm just giving him a weird looking, like, over-the-top sword. That's okay. I can always clean it up. But, like, I definitely need to fix this. Actually, I don't like that. I'm changing my mind. I'm not gonna, well, I shouldn't have deleted it completely, but, because I like the idea of the shape, but I just want a different creature. A little sleeker. Oops, my brain's... I had a brain fart. Brain toots. Yeah, something kind of like that. It's like another skull, kind of like the other one, but like the goat skull, but it's just like a longer antlers that are going down into. Just a rough idea of what it's going to be. I like it. The B sharps. Skeletor versus Vecna. Who wins? Come one, come all. The fight of the century. I like it. I mean, it's got. I at least got it to this point, so that's good. There we go. Heman. I should push the muscles more. He needs to look very strong. Because he has the power! It's actually kind of cool how many, like, stills there are from the original cartoon. I kind of like his sword. It's very much, like, unique to him. Like, it's got a specific shape that the minute you see it, you're like, that's He-Man's sword. And this is not the shape. I made the wrong shape. Because it goes more like that. I'll make it a two-hander. Ideally, with a blade that big, well, I mean, it's not that big, I guess. It could still be a one. It's a one-hander, but he's holding it with two hands for the shot. Because the other hand wouldn't be doing anything anyway, so. You know, this is boring. Well, I'll keep it, but I have a better one. I already thought of a better one. Because I've been drawing Richard so much, I have a better one for him. Where he's doing like an action swing. Because I just love giving myself hard details. It's going to be... More like that. Yeah, I like it down here better. Then I have to change the head. This is me just playing around, really. I should use a I should be using like a mannequin or something for this because I'm not using a pose. But I want to see if how much of this I can just like improvise and kind of. I mean, he's got a very T-shaped body, so or like a very like. Not TV kind of shaped body, but middle, so not too hard. Kind of like why I draw Richard like that too. It's just a much easier shape to like just get into action poses because it's got such a huge midsection that it's like. Sorry, I'm just playing, like I said, I'm just goofing around here, trying to figure this out. Nah, that's a good pose for like an actual fight, but not for just a splash image. Just gonna think what I would do. Let's look at. I'm gonna look at some of my poses again because I did have some other poses I might have used for. And I lost them. So oh no, I didn't. They're right here. Bum, 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 bum. Huh, I thought I had more in here, but I think I... Oops. This would be kind of cool. Like a... Yeah, he's like... Let's try it. It's probably not going to work, but it's worth a shot. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna do that. Oops. I just had to see a bit more of it before I decided I didn't like it. So I'm gonna do. I know I had a good one, but I can't remember. Problem is, so many poses are with, well, I guess there must be some in here. There's a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of katanas, but you don't hold a katana the same way you hold a, you don't pose the same as you do with like a short sword, which is kind of what he has. So. That would kind of be a cool pose, but let's see. Something like this might be kind of cool. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the regular pose. This is fine. Just like what I was gonna do earlier, but just more of a dynamic, guarded pose, kind of more. More like he's just kind of like spread out, kind of got his weight distributed like so. And like. Oops, no. Like. There's its one arm. Nope, that's his other shoulder there. That can be his back, actually. His arms here and here, like in the other one, but this way it's kind of more of a power pose, kind of. And put him even lower than the pose, the reference pose, so he's kind of like in a. I don't like that it's hiding it a little, but that's okay. push his biceps out a little bit, because there. I did the wrong angle, that's why. Because I do like this actually, so I'm going to change this to be more like that. Easier just to do this. Straighten it out a little bit more. There. And that's why he looked so different. His, well, it's still going to be a little bit straighter. Yeah, that's why his pose looked like he was like scrunched down lower, is because he had the arm in the wrong kind of like, doesn't even need to be that far up actually. It can be like right here actually. And then he's got his bracers, and then he's got his hand here. This is better. I like this better. Where he's got. And then you can put blade out here. Yeah. I like that. Except I kind of goofed up on the angles it was going up, because it should be more like that. Gonna like nerf it down a little bit, because I think I was making it a little bit too big. Kind of goofed up on his body proportions though. That's nice. Never give up. Just keep working through your drawings, because you'll find your solution. I mean, even this isn't perfect yet. It's still got to play around with it some more. But sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong. If this was an actual, like, if I had more time than like a month for these, then, or if I had more time to devote to each of these, I probably would have done a few more like thumbnails. And what I'm probably gonna do is come back to these later and do thumbnail challenge with them, like try and find a better pose or play with different poses if this one's not good, but I don't know, I kind of like this one. So I think we're pretty good. I mean, that hand's a bit of a mess, but that's okay, because it's kind of... The trouble is I'm using a very different model than... this guy's... This is just a photo of some kid with his sword. Oops, sorry, I'm going to skip the next one. And I'm using it for a giant dude, so that's going to be a very different look to it than... Plus a cartoon guy, too, so... Maybe too high. Problem is, I'm not showing any of the things that identify him because he's not wearing... Well, I guess the sword is, so... Because he also wears, like, an X on his tunic, on his, like a cross on his, across his chest. But... I don't have that shot in this. I think it's kind of... That's interesting. I'll go with more of the classic, but... I just saw the more modern Netflix version of his sword, and... Yeah, nah. I'll go with the original. Or it's more like this. It's kind of messy. I know it's messy right now. I'm just trying to get the shape, kind of. So that's not right, because it doesn't do that at the bottom. At the bottom, it's kind of like a flat edge here that kind of goes like that. Which is kind of weird, but that's what they did. I don't know why. I guess it was easier to animate? Question mark. Nope. I'm going to add in some of the features from the new one. It just looks a little better. Something kind of like that. It is interesting that both He-Man and Skeletor didn't have very much armor on. You think in like a modern show would have it so that like Skeletor would be like covered in like special like enchantment gear or something like Doctor Doom kind of style. But he's just like, nah, I'm just. I mean, he has that scepter that's very powerful, but he's still very vulnerable to like swords, so or arrows or anything if he doesn't see them coming. Yeah, I like this. It's got like the muscles. He's Arnold. Well, no, that's Conan. There was I forget who played the. I never did see the live action from back in the day. I think because there was a live action one that was very, very strange, which I think is what the new movie's possibly a nod to. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the trailer again. Because if that's the case, that's okay. But I thought it was trying to like just put it in our world for no reason. Because like everything wants to be in our just like Monster Hunter had to be in our world and Transformers did okay in our world. Like I'll give Michael Bay that. The first one I liked, except for some parts, but I'm fine not liking a small part of a movie. Huge shoulder muscles. I'm jealous. Kind of going more with the classic version of him, but just trying to make it look extreme. But that's more fun. Like the newer version, I mean, or even the one that was from the 2000s, looked great, but it doesn't need as much work, and it's not the original, so I'd rather go back to the original and give it more of like a. I've seen one artist, I forget the name of him, but they did a comic cover that looked kind of like a Conan, the Barbarian kind of cover, but for He-Man, so that it looked pretty cool. Yeah, it's coming along. The arm looks kind of wonky still with the bracer on it, so I think I might put it back where it was. Yeah, the hands are a mess. I gotta fix the hands up close to later. But, I like it. And then it's just gonna be like a huge flash of light coming from this. To the point where I might make it so that like half his face is kind of like this is in shadow. Yeah, kind of like that. Where it's like barely, you can like maybe see like a tiny bit of his. It's a rough. I'm gonna go over this again one more time anyway, but because those hands. But yeah, cool. Good. Where'd he go? Oh, here he is. Forgot. Hey man. Let's go back and do some more work on him. I forgot what his hideout looked like. I'll have to look it up because it's been a while. Yeah, I like this. Got this weird. At least in one version I saw, he's got like this these studs and this big one in the middle. First. Oops. Forgot. What is that? Oh, is that the... Okay, that's the more modern version, actually. So I might... You know what? I am going to do the more modern version. I like it. I do like the sword kind of having... I wasn't far off from what it actually looked like. It's kind of got like a hilt like this, actually. Goes higher. Yeah, like that. Okay. Too roughed out. Cool beans. What's today's? I'm just gonna see if I can like do a really quick like loose sketch of one for today. Oh yeah, today was Moss Man. It's just that's pretty simple, I think. Kind of nice when they have short names. It's easier to make save files for them. I'm out of water. Need to go get some more. Be right back. More water. Okay. Now let's try this Moss Man guy, which looks apparently at least in the version I saw a couple different versions of him, and like I said, I was going to try and do the originals. So, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I think this is. Interesting. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, he's kind of like a Sasquatch kind of, or like a Bigfoot mixed with plants. So, let's do that kind of where he's kind of. Should I start with a? Might as well make the base color a dark green instead of. Nah, I don't like that. Never mind. Just playing around with some ideas. No, I'll stay true to the original, but I gotta find a better pose for him. Not that. Let's see. Something like this might be kind of cool, where he's kind of like using his vines to hold on to the... Since he's kind of like got that ape kind of... Or like that primal kind of look to him. Make him like hanging from a tree and kind of... Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. We'll do that for this guy. And Grace wears one of these too. He's got his body kind of makes like a poncho almost with like where how his upper body kind of like is this. That's a pretty good pose, I think. Okay. Yeah, he's got like the beast kind of like big toes, kind of like from X-Men, not Beauty and the Beast. Although he has the extra like animalistic kind of feet. Not bad, considering I only peeked at the reference for the pose. I probably have to clean this up, but I like it. It's a good start for this one. Considering I was like, I'm not going to get this one even started probably. I'm impressed I was able to like do this, honestly. He's got a pretty simple, I like he's got the more basic cylinder kind of like mace. Like so. Which I'm going to give Richard more in the future, because it's just so much easier to draw these than it is to draw his Mulag ball or I forget who is, whatever god gives you that in whatever Daedric deity gives you that in Skyrim, I forget. like it. I'm confused. I made this tree confusing. He could honestly just have his hands embedded in like he's kind of got like a grip on the tree itself. Like maybe there's like a knot he's got his hand on or something in the tree. Cool, I like it. Like simple, maybe like a really like textured tree too, like the bark going. Yeah, I like it. So I did 3 today, kind of. I mean, I know that I'm usually further along with these, but I mean, I can finish these tomorrow. And my goal today was to at least get these to a point where I'm happy with them, and I did. Whoop! What did I just do? What did I just do? Okay, nothing. I don't know. I'm like, oh, I see what I did. I opened Clip Studio Paint to open the internet, and it opened in a different browser, and the browser covered everything. So, yay! So, you know what? I'm gonna call it for this. We're just at 2.5 hours, so actually more than 2.5 hours. That's good. And I'll finish this tomorrow because I want to get some others. I draw. I got to fix the internet, the interface between the computer and the tablet because I have to have the undo button. It just makes things so much easier. Like, it slows me down so much to have to go in and click undo up on the monitor. So, yeah, I'll fix that for tomorrow, and I promise next week it won't be there. I'll do a test run before I start. And we'll be probably back to the HeMay next week, or maybe. I might do a comic this week. We'll see. Yeah, it might be a comic, but I'll try. I'll let you know. Let me think for a second. Sorry. I'll do some doodling while I think, just while I'm closing up, because I would like to get back to the. You know what? Let's just do the comic. I know I said that we'll do like some maybe like light touches on one of the mermaids, like near the end of the stream on Wednesday. But I'd like to get that back to the comic. So yeah, that's all we'll do. Sorry, that was just me thinking out. Oh, you're still here. Good. I thought you were, but I wasn't. I have the viewers on. Let's see. Yeah, you are. I see it now. I usually turn off viewers just so it doesn't bother me, so I don't get misled, because it's always wrong. Heman. Yeah. This was really fun. Honestly, I will do these more often, because especially if they're nostalgia based, I'll do them more often. I know I said I don't like to do fan art too much, but oh, you're good, no problem. Just wrapping up because I don't know if you saw, I got this guy. He's called Moss Man, so I did. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be cleaning these up again tomorrow on Twitch, but for today, yeah, these. I'm surprised I got 3 even sketched out, you know? Like, I was coming into this, I was like, I'll probably only get 1 and it will be like pretty rough, but I'm glad I stuck with really loose so I could just get the pose in, and yeah, I'm excited. Like, all 3 of these are really fun poses. I'm glad I did a little bit of his newer sword in there, because his old sword isn't as impressive. Like, they obviously cleaned it up a little bit. But yeah. It's funny that I finished on a guy that's got a mace, because that's my, like, Richard. The mustache man himself has a mace as well, so gotta represent the mace wielders. But yeah, glad you could catch the end, and thanks for dropping by. I love having someone to talk to, and don't worry about it. I think you stayed on because I didn't see the viewer count go down, so yeah, that's all that counts. And glad I tried this, honestly. Like, doing something based around these characters is so fun. Like, if there's ever like I said, I think there's one for June, but that's about cartoon characters as well, but I can't remember what. I don't know if they do it anymore, because it used to be called Toon June or something like that, but I'll think about doing that one. We'll mix it with because I'll probably be going more back to the comic, but I'll mix it in just like for burnout days, you know? So yeah, I'll see everyone on thanks again for dropping by, everyone, and I'll see you all on Wednesday, and have a wonderful rest of your